Good morning, afternoon, evening or nighttime, wherever and whenever you may be watching. Thanks for clicking. Today, going to be talking about yet another new release from the company Zara. And today, it's going to be True Leather from the country exclusive line. And I say country exclusive with a bit of trepidation, if I'm being honest, because I don't know if Zara is trying to pull a fast one. Because I've looked online, looked on YouTube, looked on different review channels to see if anyone's got their nose on this. The only video I can find online is of a guy who I assume is from Spain. He's speaking Spanish. I could be totally right. He could live in the UK for all I know. I don't speak Spanish. I don't know what he's saying. But the only video I've seen is a guy speaking Spanish, so I'm just assuming that he's from Spain. I'm from the UK and I bought this from the UK. So if it's available in the UK and Spain, it's not a country exclusive. Is it, Zara? What's going on? I'm only joking. Not that I'm bothered either way, but it is just a curiosity thing. You know, you could stick country exclusive on there and, you know, it could be available everywhere. They could just argue it's just the name of the product. Zara, as I keep saying, they release loads of new fragrances every single year, normally with different packaging. This, in my opinion, is probably the nicest packaging I've seen, especially when it comes to the bottle. But the price is also elevated a little bit. This is 80 mils eau de parfum and it cost $25.99, which is not expensive. You know, if you look at designer fragrances, it's probably half the price of a lot of designer fragrances in Boots and Superdrug and the fragrance shop and whatnot. But for Zara, that is a little bit on the higher end. Zara normally go for £10-20 fragrances, so £26 is a little bit step above. But is it worth it? Before I get into that and the fragrance, what it smells like, I just want to show you this bottle and we'll talk about the notes as well. So the package, haven't got much really going on. I like the fact now that they've put the seals on the top, so you know that no one else has been in it, because I know in a lot of department stores people spray them and put them back. This way you know no one's been in it. And then also on the back there, it's got the note breakdown, which I'll go through on the video. But the bottle, really, really nice, elegant, classy, thick glass. As you can see there, I don't know if you can hear it. The cap, they've cheaped out a little bit on the cap. It is just a basic plastic cap. It does go with the style, you know, the gold, and just the color of the liquid, I suppose, is like a slight ambery color. I really like this bottle. Good stuff, $25.99, I'm happy. So let's get to the fragrance, gonna give it a spray. I also think the sprayer on this line of fragrances is also elevated a bit. It seems as though you can control how much you spray. Big nice mist as well. Really nice, bergamot at the top. It's a very short-lived citrus thing going at the top. Let me get you the notes as we're speaking about this. So the top notes has got bergamot, pink pepper and saffron. For me, like I said, genuinely in the first minute or 2 minutes, there's a lot of bergamot, a citrus blast, but immediately, like this fragrance is called True Leather, that leather is there, straight from the opening. The leather is only listed in the base notes by the looks of it. So the heart notes, you've got orris, also known as iris, caramel, dry amber, and then in the base you've got vetiver, leathery, I think it just says leathery. Quite strange, never seen that. Vetiver, leathery, Evernil? Never heard of that either. Let me know in the comments if anyone knows what that is. Evernil, I'll try and leave it on the video. And musk. The leather is straight away. This, I'm surprised that Zara released this, if I'm being honest, because this to me smells more in the realms of a niche perfume more than a designer. I feel like at this point Zara is quite well known for doing mass appealing, but then also slight clones of other fragrances. The most well known is probably Vibrant Leather. Smells a lot like Creed Aventus, or it's definitely in that same vein. But this one, as I said, I personally think this is, I wouldn't call it daring. It's not like an indie sort of fragrance. It's not totally out there and totally bonkers. It is what it says on the tin though. It is leather, in my opinion. Definitely the most leather fragrance I've got, and that's why I bought it, because I didn't really have crazy amounts of leather in my collection. But this is really nice. It's a really good blend. Like I've found with some of the cheaper Zara fragrances that they're either a little bit sharp and a little bit alcohol-y in the opening, or B, they just don't last. They're very fleeting, and you can tell that straight away from the opening. With this one though, really well blended, doesn't smell sour, doesn't smell off, doesn't smell alcoholic. And it, like, I've sprayed this, I've got a tester strip that's been going for about 4 hours now, and I've worn it on skin before. I know this lasts. But in regards to the top, the Fresh Blast, bergamot right in the first minute or two, and then leather just encapsulates it. So guys, moving on. This is the strip that I sprayed a good 4 or 5 hours ago. I personally, I still don't get too much of all the other notes that they describe. I don't think I get caramel. It's not giving me sort of a gourmand kind of vibe. But the leather definitely has calmed down a fair bit, and it's becoming more of like a suede. Maybe there's a touch of the iris resonated in there, which is giving it a slightly powderiness, which is taking the edge off the leather and giving it a suedeness. And there in the dry down is where it's reminded me a little bit of another fragrance, which is Issey Miyake Pour Homme Noir Amber. It's not a direct clone, don't get me wrong. As it happens, I probably prefer Noir Amber. I think, oh my goodness, the amber scent is, you know, sweeter, it's more comforting, it's more, I don't know, there's just something all-rounded about this. Again, I'm not saying this is a clone, but the dry down of this, it gives me a sort of suede-like feeling, like brown leather, that this gives me as well. But this one showcases leather a lot more. Leather is the star player in this. As I said, it's not daring, but at the same time, I think people who perhaps haven't smelled a lot of fragrances and perhaps not mad keen on leather may not enjoy it. I will say though, I've got a mate, Sam, I think he's been on a few videos before. He messaged when I told him about this fragrance, and he said, I don't think I'd like it. I don't like leather all that much. And I think leather, a bit like oud and a bit like some of the other stronger notes, is one of those notes that if you've smelled a fair few perfumes, you begin to appreciate it a lot more, because you can tell when certain houses, when certain companies do it well. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you'll learn to love the note and you'll be like, oh yeah, I've totally changed my mind, leather's the best thing in the world now. But when you smell things like this by Zara, True Leather, fair play to them. I think it'll give you, compared to a lot of other fragrances I've smelled that have leather in them, I personally think for $25.99 this is a stunner, and I think in the coming weeks and months a lot more people are going to be talking about it. And there it is, guys. That's my take on True Leather by Zara, part of the country exclusives line. Let me know if any of you guys have tried this one and which country you're from. I want to know all the countries they're selling this, just out of curiosity. I think it's fantastic. I really think this is fantastic. I think it's great. Yeah, I'd be curious to know some others from the line as well. I've heard that Red Temptation is going for a bit of a clone of Baccarat Rouge 540. I don't think this is going for a clone of anything, but as I said, reminds me a little bit of Noir Amber. But yeah, $25.99 is great. See you in the next video, guys. Peace.